Hello everyone and welcome to Counter Speed Tier 3. My name is Thomas, next to me is Lewis and we're here in Mexico for the Mexican Grand Prix. Lewis in the corner was with me. How are you doing, mate?
I'm very good, thank you. Yes, great to be back. Great to have you back, Thomas. I missed you last week. I
Yeah.
forgot to say that before we went on air. I did miss you last week, as always,
Aw.
where we have absence, but we got one more before the Christmas break, which would be nice. And Mexico is always a fun one to commentate over.
Yeah, 100% love to drive the track myself, and it's always a really good look. Espama almost lost it in the wall where Bottas did it 3 years ago, because 2 years ago we did a race here. Last time we did. Um, Yeah, it's a fun track where we hopefully will be seeing a lot of overtakes. There are at least a lot of possibilities around this track to get past the driver in front, so we will have to wait and see. It's also a track where it's very easy to pick up a penalty. You've got the S section where running wide or cutting a corner gives you a warning. It's the turn 2 and turn 3 chicane, running wide coming out of turn 3, so yeah, people need to watch out for that one. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, so we got early stages of this quali session. 14. Now, let's make sure our clocks are correct. I got 14 minutes 21, 20. Are we on the same time zone?
Oh, fair enough. I'm on 40 minutes and 50 seconds. Oh, and Mama lost it. So that's going to be an interesting one then towards the end of the session.
Who's got it right? We don't know yet. But yep, obviously a lot of guys just on a hot lap there. It's Blades with 117 dead. Funny story, a bit off topic, but I once accidentally called someone, and I was and like went in answer phone, and I had my phone in my pocket, and I was talking about lap times, and I think I said 144 dead, and he sent me a text saying, "I hope you're not involved in a mass shooting." All I heard from the muffling was you said 44 dead. It's like,
That's not
like,
what
no,
you want to hear.
yeah,
Probably at the shock of his life.
yeah, yeah. It's like, I hope you're not in a mass shooting. It's like, no, I was just talking about lap times for motor racing. Yeah, so yeah, that was my that's my funny story about referring to times that are point dead. But yeah, Blades, unsurprisingly, not the fastest. We've already got electric blade down in the 115.8 on the soft tyre. The soft tyre is quite a big advantage over the other compounds, but naturally, therefore, it wears pretty strongly. It's not a great race tyre to be on. One that you have to look after. Medium's pretty good. I think it's a bit like how it was last week. Like ideally, if you're outside the top 10, medium to hard is probably a good strategy to go down. Or if you want to hope for a safety car, hard tyre. But the soft is such an advantage, you do want to use it for quali.
Yeah, 100%. Really, through a bit of Sector 2, but mainly through Sector 3 with the S section, it's so helpful to get that soft tire on the car, because it gives you that little bit more grip and two spells into the wall. And how he's not retired is a miracle to me. Well, he lost it coming out of the X section. We saw Bama struggling as well coming out of the S section, and it's two spell now without a front wing, and he has to nurse his car back to the pits. He drove a faster Sector 1, so that's really unlucky for him. But he's been a very lucky guy to not retire around this track and still be able to get his car back into the pit. So yeah, both unlucky and lucky for two spell, as he will try to get a lap time on the board the next time he comes out on track.
Yeah, Mexico, although I do enjoy the racing, it's not really a track that I get a really good knack off. Like, it's a unique circuit. I know in real life it's even more unique with the added effect of the altitude, making obviously the air is much thinner. But I feel like it's a track that if I had a wheel and I was really suited to the wheel, sectors 2 would be very nice. And even the final sector, just being able to get that turn angle, because the corners are so tight in the stadium section. But it's a track, obviously, with the long straight. You've got a opportunity for DRS. As Marina goes, well, look at that, Marina and Charlie, 1 and 2, and they were following each other. In fact, Charlie, I think, was getting a slipstream.
Yeah, Marina now with a 1:15.5, 3 seconds clear of Charlie, so he is doing a pretty good job. Let's see, Kitten, is he... No, he just started his lap. And he's on the mediums, so that is someone to look out for. We've got Blaze, Bama and Mazza currently on the mediums, where Mazza is 2 seconds slower than Blaze and Bama, so he definitely has room for improvement. Let's see what Kitten is doing as he just ended Sector 1. Now through Sector 2 he goes. It's a good exit before the start of Sector 3. Although he still has the S's to negotiate. Don't make the same mistake like Tuspo did. He doesn't, he keeps it within the white lines. He's coming towards the end of Sector 2 now. 57.3. And enters the stadium section, where grip seems like a very impossible thing around here, I notice. You need to be very high up in the gears to get onto the throttle coming out of the last turn, as close to the line as possible, and he puts in 1:16.7, which puts him P1 of all the medium runners.
Nice job there. 1:16.7, obviously we only get 1 set of mediums for quali, and 3 sets of lovely red marked soft tyres. So obviously a lot of these guys, majority of these guys are using the softs, while others deciding. I mean, what's your opinion on the guys doing a run on a medium now? Like, you know, you're not going to need that medium again, but do you think it's a bonus to do a time on the medium? What do you think's their reason for doing it?
Well, to be fair, like, I understand that you go on to the medium tire if you like know for sure that you're going to end out on the softs, because then like the grip for like feeling wise gets better. Like you're slowly starting to Obama, and he loses it again, but for some reason he still, how does he have his front wing on the car? Huh?
Yeah, I just saw that.
Now, but you get used to the feeling of the amount of grip you have on the mediums. So when you go on towards the softs later on in the qualifying session, when there is more grip out on track and you get more grip from the soft tire itself, like, it gives you a massive boost for the lap you're going to put in. But if these guys genuinely want to start on the medium tire, then I don't understand why you're going on it so early. Because now, look at Jimmy James, he puts in a 1:15.9, and I think these guys who already put in a lap on the mediums would have been able to be a little bit closer towards the time than they are now. Because you're not gonna tell me that these guys are a second slower than Jimmy James on a quali run. Like, we know Jimmy James has been really strong this season, but he is still half a second slower than the fastest time on the soft. So it's not that it was an insane lap on the mediums where he puts it on pole position. It's just that the grip is there for the mediums to actually work. So if they want to start on the mediums inside of the 10, it's not a good call. But if they want to get a feel for the track and get used to the track and the grip level, then in my opinion it's a really good shout, because you keep yourself an extra set of softs in reserve for when a very late safety car comes out, and knowing EU3, that is a very high chance of a safety car coming out later on in the race.
Granted, no, that is the upside, and that's why I've used the medium before, is to save a set of softs, or I don't go out at all and I just do 2 runs, because having that extra set of fresh softs is always really useful. It's just one of those, but also equally, I've had it before in the past. Granted, on a medium tyre you can get away with 3 laps being used, but sometimes there's situations where it is quite rare, but you do need another set of mediums, because you only get one. You don't get a fresh set of mediums, do you? So once you've used that medium tyre, that is it for the race. That's the medium tyre. Unless you choose to start on the medium, if you're outside the top 10, then that's your fresh medium. But if you needed a medium again, for example, which is rare, I suppose. You've already, you haven't got another fresh set of mediums. Whilst if you don't use that medium, at least you've got another set of fresh mediums as well as a set of fresh softs.
Yeah.
But like I said, I totally agree with the point of getting used to the circuit and then you've got the extra grip. It does definitely give you a boost. It's the same in real life. Like example is if you go out on wet in practice days when I was younger, I would go out in the wet on dry slick tyres because it's just learning car control. It's very extreme, slippy, the most slippiest conditions. And then when you go on a wet tyre, you have so much more confidence and actually drive harder and faster because you know what it's like to have no grip.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
now you have all that extra grip. So yeah, I get that. Life lessons with Tom and Lewis. Thomas Lewis.
Jack Hawkey puts it in pole position after Two-Spell did it before. Two-Spell with a 1:15.2, Jack Hawkey with a 1:15.1, so they're looking very strong in this race, as they are now 3/10 clear of Vermeer in P3. Yeah, looking at the lap times, it's pretty close in the midfield, and I'm wondering if Jimmy James is gonna go for an improvement on those mediums, or if he's gonna go on to softs. Softs is the answer. He's not gonna gamble on another run for the softs. He's putting on the red wall tires, and he is going to challenge for that pole position as Kitten puts it up into P4 with a 1:15.4 as well, together with his AM driver in P3.
So, let's see, we're waiting now, 4 minutes to go. Most likely we're going to get the final runs now. Vamo is on an outlap. We have got Has on an outlap. Kitten is on a hot lap, allegedly, but he's 7/10ths down, so I think he's already done a lap. Surely he's already done a lap. I might be wrong. But Marina Pitt has on an outlap. He's about to start his main lap. Electric Blade he's on a hot lap and he's a 10th up. And he's one of the only few that are on a hot lap at the moment.
Let's see. Where is Blades on my screen? I can't find him. Ah, there he is. Jimmy James is... Oh, he is down on his sector 1 time he did on the mediums, so it's not been a very good sector 1 for Jimmy James. Let's see if he can improve through sector 2. He should be able to improve as he's got much more grip compared to those mediums, but that shows that he drove a really good lap on those mediums. Through the S section he goes. Just keep it within the white lines, which he does. And he is improving by 0.6 of a second through sector 2. And now through the stadium section he should gain even more time. And that means that if he is gonna continue like he does right now, he's probably gonna challenge for pole position coming out of the last turn on towards the line. And he is gonna challenge for pole position. In fact, he does get pole position with a 1:15 dead. Really good lap time from Jimmy James. Purple through sector 2 and purple through sector 3.
15 dead. It's happened again. But yeah, no, great there, and it's just it. But he's got other guys that are yet to do their final lap, and one of them is Jack Hawkey, who is still in the pits at the moment. Two-Spell is just about to start his hot lap. In fact, he's gone across the start line now. Survived that early bit, and now is in the final running, P3 currently.
On board with Bomber as well. He had a little bit of a moment through sector 1 coming out of turn 3, the chicane, but he got it all sorted. No invalidation as of yet, and he's 1.5 tenths up on his previous lap time. He did a 1:16.8 on the mediums. He's currently in P17, so he's definitely looking for an improvement through the S section he goes, as we've got 26 people tuning in right now. Thank you all for tuning in. Hopefully you're enjoying the stream. Bomber, and he picks up an invalidation as he runs wide, and he's frustrated with that one because he knows that he needs to improve. He was improving by 1.6 seconds, but that's nothing. That's definitely not going to stand, as English is still a very hard language. Two spell. Let's see if he is on for an improvement. The end of sector 2, but he's not on for an improvement, so he will definitely be looking to go again. Let's see.
You love to see it.
Hilly just improved to P5. Really well done by the Dutchie in the Williams. Is Blaze on for an improvement. He's 1.3 seconds up on his previous lap time. So that is going to bring him a 1:15.4. So Blaze is looking really strong. Can he improve even more? Yes, he can! He's actually going to take pole position. I asked him in the chat if he was going to pick up a podium. And he said he was. And he's definitely not proving me anything else. Oh my days, Blaze is on previous pole position.
Sygate comes across the line, P11. Stumpy's 3/10 up currently on his previous best.
Nice going
in
again.
The top 10.
1.7 seconds up on his previous lap time. Purple through sector 2. Bama is looking to challenge for the pole position as well. Is he gonna beat the 1:14.9 from Blaze earlier on in this session? Through the final corner he goes on towards the line. He is gonna improve to a 1:14.6.
Jesus!
That's insane.
Wow, that is a massive time difference. I want to see that on board. If that.
Oh! There goes Jack
That's a big crash. Yeah, and also Vamu as well. Was that both of them together?
No, that was Vamu was in the pits. But that was an insane crash.
And that means he's going to be, well, 5th at the very best. There's still people going round, I think.
We've got Kitten. We're still on a lap.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone is gonna challenge for pole position. No, Stampy is definitely not gonna improve. So I think it's only Kitten left for an improvement, unless Marina is still going for it.
It looks slow. It doesn't look quick from Kitten.
And he
he's
invalidated.
backed out. Yeah.
So I'm wondering, because this is where the glitch comes in. Because Marina joined during qualifying, I think he doesn't know that the time is already like done. I know this is a problem in F1 where if you join during qualifying, it doesn't say that the qualifying session is actually over for the people who joined late. So I think we should tell Marina that he shouldn't be qualifying right now.
Wow. So, we got Bammer and Pole, Blaze on the front row, great job by Blaze, Jammy in P3, Vamo in P4, ooh, and yeah, Marina's just done his time. So he obviously...
Never mind then.
Yeah, he must have thought like it's already...
Okay, no drama as of yet. This is the result of qualifying for this Mexican Grand Prix. Bama in pole position with a brilliant lap on 1:14.6. Blaze surprisingly in P2. Jamie James P3, Vamu P4, Jack Hawkey P5, Two Spell P6, Hilly P7, Real Johnny P8, Kitten P9, Stampy rounds off the top 10, Marina P11, Hasmania P12, Psyche P13, Charlie P14, Electroblade P15, Pure Blaze P16, Ben Resch, Cliff P17, Massa P18 and Max P19. Hopefully everything is going well for the start of this race. And then, yeah, hopefully looking forward to a very interesting race. But looking from the lap times with 12 people within a second, it's looking like a really, really exciting race coming up.
Yeah, this is. I'm actually Blades on the front row, and obviously this is the longest straight from start to first corner on the calendar, because obviously you have the long straight on this corner, and also turn 1 is always a bit chaotic because it's right left. Things get messed up completely. Late braking. I've been involved in many incidents. I remember an EU3 race where someone forgot to brake and it was just chaos. Yeah, it's mental. And in previous games, this track was a real tyre killer as well. I remember overheating was such an issue on like games like the F1 2018 game or 2019 was one of the two. Not so bad nowadays with these games, but still, yeah, looking forward to how this plays out and the different strategies, because people from behind might want to start try and change things up. And like you say, if we get a safety car towards the end of the race, we haven't seen a late safety car in a while, have we? But you know, I can't remember the last time I saw a late safety car. Abu Dhabi. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering what people are going to do. We start outside of the top 10. Are they gonna risk it by going onto a set of medium tires? Because if the safety car comes out very early on in the race, their advantage of a different strategy is completely gone. But if it pays out, then they are on for a really good result. It also depends on, are you confident enough to have the pace to keep up with the guys in front? Because if you lose touch around this track and the people in front of you have DRS and you don't, you're gonna lose a lot of time as well with the amount of straight line speed you got around this track. So a lot of things to consider, but hopefully we will get this race underway shortly, and with a little bit more than 5 seconds we will know what everyone decided to do who starts outside of the top 10. Of course, everyone inside the top 10 will be starting on those softs, as we've got no one being able to put in a lap on the mediums. We've got everyone outside the top 10 on mediums, apart from Pure Blades, who is on softs. So yeah, top 10 softs, top. Oh, that's not top. P11 all the way down to P19 on mediums, apart from Pure Blades. Let's see.
Yeah, let's get the up and away.
Everyone warming up their tires, especially the guys on mediums need to do that. People on the softs want to be doing a very slow formation lap. Pretty one people now tuning in. Thank you all for doing so. And hopefully you guys will be getting a entertaining race, as they are approaching the stadium section now, with only a few moments to go before it lights out, and hopefully we don't see any glitches. It should be a really good one.
So my top three I'm going to go for is, I think Jamie. I mean, last week you weren't here. My top three all crashed within the first lap in Bahrain. So,
so
everyone
praying they are not in your top three.
I don't. Yeah, I don't. Actually, I'm not going to pick a top three. It's probably not best after last week. Yeah. I'll keep it silent, and then after the race, I'll say if it was my top three, and I'll be honest.
Yeah.
So I thought those guys.
Yeah, I said them exactly in that order. Max now is the last one going in, and from what I could tell, we are getting on the way. It is 5 red lights, and it's lights out, and away we go for the Mexican Grand Prix. It's a really good start from Blaze. It's a really good start from Jamie James as well, from all the way down to P3. He's already up into P1, and now it's going to be a slipstream fest all the way down towards turn 1, who is going to be the latest on the brakes. It seems like it's going to be Jamie James with Blades down his inside. Oh, they go 3 wide, but Jamie James keeps it on track, stays in front with Blaze in P2. No, he makes contact, and now Jack Holkey is up into P2 with Bama in P3, and Blaze drops all the way down to P4. As it is a brilliant start from Jamie James, and no big collisions as of yet, apart from Hilly, who dropped a bit further down the field.
Wow, the Alpine getting a bit aggressive. That is Marina trying to get through. Oh, it's losing it, and then the other Alpine
Marina.
does.
No, it's Real Johnny.
Yeah, Real Johnny behind. Yeah, unfortunately for him. and that's going to be massive wing damage and a pit stop. But yeah, Jamie James getting a fantastic launch at the start into P1, survived that turn 1, turn 2 and 3, and now in the lead ahead of Jack Hawkey. Great drive Jack Hawkey now from P5 to P2. Bama P3, our pole position, our pole sitter. Not great start. Also Blades, another heavy loss for him at the start, down into P5. 2Spell staying in that P6 where he started.
Yeah, Blades with a brilliant start all the way up into P9. We've got Hesmania P8 on those mediums. Definitely someone to look out for. Jack Hawkey, he knows how important it is to stay with it. That 1 second window of Jamie James in front, because otherwise I think he is not gonna see that horse back ever again in this race unless a safety car comes out. Bama in P3 is looking quick as well. Of course, he was the man on pole position as the top 3 now has a 1.4 second gap to Vamu in P4. So yeah, the top 3 seems sorted, and now it's their turn to decide who's gonna be on which step.
Yep, so we've got other big movers. Blades made 8 places so far. He's up to P8. We got Stumpy made 3, Haz made 3, Charlie's made 4 places. Yeah, big winner, Blades. Great driver. I'll give him the Race to 001 Star award for this race. You know, now that F1 in real life, we have all sorts of awards for overtake, fastest lap. I'm giving that the start of the race for him, and he's actually catching Stumpy.
We keep that in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he just dropped outside. He picked up a penalty through the SS, and he just dropped outside of that 1 second winner. So that's very unfortunate for him. He will be desperate to get back within that 1 second winner, as he does right now. And Bama and Jack Hawkey are going at it. It is Bama going down the inside, but Jack Hawkey keeps it around the outside. And he has the better straight line speed. No, the Mercedes has the better straight line speed. It's like real life. Bama still side by side with Jack Hawkey, and now he gets in front. All of this battling is allowing Jamie James to pull away. 8.5 tenths is the gap now, and they need to be careful. Jamie James is not gonna fall outside of the 1 second window. Ooh, Bama, 3 seconds. That's gonna cost him at the end of the race, and that's definitely a corner cutting warning for Jack Hawkey through the S section. All Blaze with 6 seconds already. No wonder why he's that quick.
So he is 6 tenths now. He's going to have the DRS. A yellow in sector 3. And I believe that is it's 2 cars. It's an Alpine and a Alpha. Ben Ratcliffe.
Virtual safety car.
Ooh, now people can make people going to pit this lap. It's a bit early, but there is a Williams pitting. It's Illy. He's the only one pitting. I wonder if that's because of damage.
Yeah, and I think because he spun as well, I assume, so his tires don't feel that great, I suppose. As he is gonna put on the
2-stop
medium tire. Yeah, so definitely going to be a 2-stop for Hilly, as Ben Radcliffe puts on the hards and a new front wing. Love his helmet, by the way, the black and gold helmet.
Yep.
It's waiting now for the virtual safety car to disappear. Who's gonna take risks trying to get within that 1 second window. If you take too much risk, you get a drive-through penalty, so they definitely need to be careful. Jamie James warming up his tires. And we've got green conditions again, and there we have it. I said it.
Yeah. I've done it.
And Kitten lost it coming out of the S's, where we saw 2Spell and Bama in the wall. And no safety car as of yet. Blaze is gonna get disqualified if he continues on like this. He's already on. Yeah.
Oh, and now
he's retired in the pit. I think he's given up on the amount of penalties. I think he knew that if he continued on like that, he would get disqualified.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. It's a track that's very easy to get penalties because of the S's. Here we go. Mercedes now Jammy's going to have to use a lot more ERS than his opponents. This is the one handy thing, particularly this track being so power sensitive. When you're behind, you can use DRS. You don't need to use so much energy. When you're the guy in the lead, it's absolutely savage. And Jammy now wants track position because there's so many people close behind him. But at the same time, even if he did fall back one place, it's not too bad as long as he doesn't drop back any further, because it'll just mean he'll be able to save the ERS, and if he's close enough, he can overtake Bammer again, vice versa. He is trying to keep the ERS low, and to be fair, he's level with 76 to or 80 to 81. They're basically identical, virtually identical on energy. But here we go now. Bammer a bit closer, using that DRS. And it's approaching. Just running out. I do wonder whether F1 takes into account the thinner air, because, considering the DRS, it's not massive, but then again, if the wings are a little bit lower, but Jammy is using a bit more ERS now. Mercedes almost close enough, but not quite.
I'm wondering what Jamie James's game plan is, because I know that he is a guy who can comfortably sit in P2 or P3, saving up his ERS and just waiting for that one moment where he needs to attack.
Ooh,
and he does
Bammer!
it! Bammer!
Bammer loses it! Yeah, rear end goes out, and that's going to be massive wing damage for him. I was on board with him. He just got on the curb a bit too much, lost the rear end, and tried to correct it, and then it snapped on him, put him into the wall.
I had the perfect camera angle from not from behind, because I was on board with Jamie James, then I looked back, so we saw it from the front, and massive tank slapper for Bama there. And we saw him struggling qualifying already through the S section, and problems haven't been solved during the race. We can clearly.
The sign for me there is the front end's too grippy, and the rear end can't cope. It's too pointy of a car, and that is you're always prone to that. Particularly in race, you can get away with it a bit more in quali with light fuel load. When you want a heavy car on worn softs, go right, left, and here. Oh, look at this Jack Corky. Almost lining up, makes Jammy, forces him to go a little bit tight on entry, which does not help him at all. Jammy's still done a good job. He's only 10% less energy at the moment. And now again, this is the tricky bit. In that dirty air, following Jammy James. And Jack also has penalty as well.
Keeps just within the white lines. Yeah, that's not gonna help him further on in this race, but he just needs to keep his head down. Make sure you keep it on those 3 seconds, because there is a very high chance of Jamie James picking up a penalty himself as well, as we are entering lap 8 out of 36 with 2 people in the lead, 1.5 seconds down to P3, and I think the Red Bull is going for the move. And he's already got it done before the braking zone. Jack Hawkey now up into P1. Jamie James drops down to P2.
And he will also get DRS for the second zone.
Once again, crashing the S section. Once again, Bama on fresh softs. Still the same problems. He won't be happy with that one.
Yeah, that car is just way too sensitive on the front end. As Jack does the fastest first sector, unsurprisingly. He did use a bit of energy down that straight. I wonder if Jammy's got a little bit of a lower wing setup, because the pace isn't that far, and on the straight it's very difficult for them to overtake him without using ERS as well as DRS. And he's following well as well.
Jack's setup seems to be really stable, although he cuts a lot of that corner on the inside, but I can't see his rear is not slipping out whatsoever. I haven't seen his rear end of the car doing some weird stuff, especially not through the corners where it's really easy to lose the rear, compared to Jamie James, who is clearly struggling on the back end at some corners. It seems like Jack has a really stable setup for this race, and looking at last lap, his straight line speed isn't too bad either. So yeah, Jack Hawkey looks really strong for this race win.
I think Jammy's got a lower wing though, because even without using ERS, he's got such more straight line speed. Obviously he's got DRS, but it seemed to me that he has more of a straight line speed naturally. I think he's just got a lower wing setup, which might make sense with why Jack looks very stable in the corners in Sector 2. Because I think Jammy's got a little bit of a looser car, which is easier then for him to defend and overtake. But during this stint now, it's a little bit tricky. But Jammy's got the pace. They are pulling away from Blades now, pretty handedly, to be fair. A 2.2 second difference with the tyre dropping out now.
Yeah, they're like switching positions at in the perfect way by not losing any time, having them moved on before the braking zone, and because they are like DRS training each other, Blaze can't do anything but follow, and the gap now is 2.5 seconds where it was 1.5 seconds 2 laps ago. So that shows that these guys are clearly ahead of the people behind.
Absolutely.
Here we go. Is he gonna go for the move? He's using the ERS, so I assume he's gonna go for it. Yes, he is, down the inside. And this time as well, job done before the braking zone. It is swapping positions once again. Now the Red Bull P1 and the Haas in P2.
Absolutely love to see it. You're gonna have to trademark that. Meanwhile, let's see other battles elsewhere. It's all very split, isn't it? There's absolutely the only battle we got, which I'm happy with, by the way. It's the best one to have. Is for P1 right now, because everyone else is out of DRS range.
It's insane, because when we saw the qualifying result, it seemed like it was going to be a very close race, but everyone seems to be spread out, so we either need a safety car or people picking up the pace. We've got a lot of people on the mediums, and only the top 5 is on softs, so that can maybe make this race a bit more interesting. But yeah, for now, the only battle is the battle for P1. Tuspel now closes into his teammate in P4, but I don't think Famu is gonna make life too hard for Tuspel. So yeah, the most important battle we have, but other than that, nothing to focus about.
Yeah. And again, 35, let's see. Now, Jammy's the one with the better energy, well, in reserve. And also doesn't have any penalties.
Yeah, Jimmy James is in a really good position, and I don't think he's gonna take any risks, as he knows that if it finishes like this, he will still get P1 purely on penalties. So Jimmy James can just relax. The gap is still 2.5 seconds. They're not really pulling away from Blaze anymore. As I say that, it goes to 2.8.
So Vamo and Stumpy are the first ones to stop from their softs. So they've departed, and that means they are now medium. So I'm guessing, are they going to 2-stop with the medium? Sorry, 1-stop with the medium? I mean, they've done 10 laps on the soft. 10. They did 10 on the soft. Plus the 3 in quali. Can you make the mediums last for another 20 plus laps?
Well, Vamu has gone on to the mediums. Now Blaze is into the pits, so let's see what he does.
It's Blaze and Stumpy. Blaze and Stumpy, Stumpy and Vamo are the ones that pitted last lap.
Blaze goes on to the mediums as well, so these guys are either going for a soft, medium, medium, soft, medium, soft, as in a 2-stop, or they're just trying to nurse these tires to the end. As Famu now is in the slipstream of Blaze with warmer tires. Can he maybe do it on the second straight? He's really close to the back of that Williams, so maybe on exit, but I think Blaze has it covered. No DRS for the Ferrari behind, so it should be no problem for Blaze to stay in P10.
Oh, Marina.
Marina with tires. Safety car! There we have it.
Those guys will be kicking themselves now, and the leaders will be saying thank you very much.
Yeah.
Jammy lost a bit of time. Look, Jammy is 2 seconds down. It must have been a moment, or his tyres just ran off the cliff.
Yeah, really strange how suddenly there's a 2.3 second gap. Luckily for him, the safety comes out, so that gap will be coming down. And what tire are they gonna go on to? It is mediums for Jack. So I assume it's going to be mediums as well for Jimmy James. No, it's softs for Jimmy James. So that means that
Sure.
Jimmy James is definitely going for the 2-stop. And he is going very aggressive in the second stint.
Yeah, that's very. I mean, he has another set of softs left, which obviously he can't use. He's going to have to use those mediums at some point. That's the only thing I'm curious about. Why soft now?
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to give him the advantage initially, but he's going to have to pit sooner and be on the mediums. Whilst I mean, he will, in theory, get truck position later on because he's pitting earlier, so he'll get the undercut. But Jack's going to be on softs potentially, or he'll be doing another. It could be soft, medium, medium, soft, medium, soft, which I'm guessing Jammy's doing soft, medium, soft. Sorry, soft, soft, medium, rather. That's the advantage. When there is a 2-stopper race, I always say it just makes it more variables happening. You know, different strategies are occurring. You could end up hitting the jackpot, a bit of luck with a safety car as well, and you can really mix up the results. 2Spell was a big winner out of this, because he is ahead of Blades now. He is up into P3. Vamu, obviously, P5, Charlie P6, Stumpy P7. Those guys undercutting, thinking they would get track position, end up not gaining at all, and are on older tyres. So a couple of people are on softs as well. Has Muzza and Charlie. Oh, there's been a collision. Vamo and Blades. So that'll be a penalty on Vamo. But yeah, there's a couple of people that have followed Jammy's strategy here. Being on the soft tyre. So it should be interesting.
Is that going to be interesting? I'm just wondering if they like gambling on another safety car coming out, or are they generally thinking they've got the pace to like run away with this one? Because Jimmy James was on softs before, he needs to pit for mediums. That means that he will be on the same tire as Jack Hawkey. The only difference will be the amount of laps. He will have a fresh set of mediums compared to on whatever the amount of laps of Jack Hawkey. I don't think it's the right strategy call unless they are in front and another safety car comes out. But I don't think the 2-stop without a safety car is going to work.
Yeah. I mean, technically, with the safety car right now, wouldn't a 1-stop be better? Which is what Blade and Cygate done. The hard.
Yeah, that's definitely doable.
If it's another safety
and I think,
car,
yeah, well, I
they would
think
be
with
able to pit
mediums,
and be ahead.
22 laps, it's going to be close on mediums if you can make it for the 1-stop. Well, Jimmy James definitely needs to stop because he needs to switch to a different compound. So I just don't know why he went on to the softs, but we'll have to wait and see. Maybe he's gonna prove us all wrong.
Yeah, we should see. Safety car in this lap.
Jack Hawkey now can decide the pace going into the stadium section. When is he gonna go? Oh, I think he's gonna go already, and Jimmy James definitely didn't expect that one.
No,
he's not gonna go. He is slowing down
here?
once again. This is one of the weirdest safety car restarts I've ever seen. Yeah, Blaze gets a 5-second. Yeah, and I understand why he got a 5-second time, but it was suddenly everyone slowed down.
What's happening here?
This is such a strange safety car restart from Jack Hawkey, as now Jimmy James is in the lead. 2-spell P2. Jack Hawkey now needs to find a way through the field as he's weaving all over the place. Oh, and he makes contact with Two-Spell now. He's round the outside. Two-Spell is
Two-Spell's gonna
definitely
squeeze
not
him.
gonna give up the position.
Oh,
He's gonna
Jack.
squeeze.
That
Oh,
was messy from Jack. He went in way too hot. I don't know what's happened to him. He's now backing out. I wonder if he's got connection issues.
oh, please. Oh, and Vamu gets squeezed.
Oh, they're all getting squeezed now.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what's happened to Jack. I think he's been disconnected. It's almost like he's been disconnected. He's on like AI.
Something's wrong. Well,
Oh,
Jimmy
he's got
James
hit
is
now.
gone now.
And they both crashed. Has and the Red Bull have crashed. I'm sure it's AI that's controlling this. Maybe not. But
I don't think so. But there must be something wrong.
Happened. But that is completely opened up because now Jammy is a big beneficiary of all that. Because a load of them got warnings, and obviously Jammy on those softs is way quicker. And Two-Spell has a terrible run. Look at the softs on Charlie. Charlie had way more grip, and he's just going to shoot past the Ferrari here. This is completely terrific, and also Muzzer and Cygate are battling it out. Oh no, sorry, it's Vamo. Vamo and Cygate. Vamo up into P6. Stumpy caught speeding in the pit lane.
He's probably gonna retire, isn't he?
This is a bit bonkers, this race, all of a sudden.
Yeah, Tuspel seems to be struggling on his mediums. And at this stage, I take everything back from what I said about Jimmy James' his strategy, because at this stage, always he picks up 3 seconds, but at this stage,
no problem.
Yeah, there's no problem for him. Literally no problem.
I think it's just because of how slow that safety car was. The softs have just switched on way quicker.
Yeah.
I don't think Two-Spell got damage, but then again, Blades is catching up massively right now. And
Charlie put away 1.5 seconds on this lap. And
yeah,
like, to be fair to Charlie, but normally he isn't that much quicker than Two-Spell. Has Mania through the S section. Are we gonna see another safety car? I don't think so. They still come out.
There are some Naples. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen.
No.
Gee, this is a bit crazy now, but yeah, Tuesday doesn't come up with any damage. There's no icon on the setup, that little spanner. So I don't think he got any damage. First sector's 2/10 slower than his previous best. It's just not, they're just not quick. Jammy James is absolutely flying on those softs right now, making the most of them. I suppose if you got clear air, they work. Got a yellow in sector 3, and that's an alpha. Stumpy. It's going again.
Stumpy struggling as well, really unlucky for him. Place is he's on the edge of that 1 second window. I don't think he's gonna get it unless he has a massive exit coming out of the last turn. But he is literally 2 thousandths behind. And it's not gonna be DRS for Blaze, although he is closing in. Is that because he's using ERS?
Yeah.
I think so.
Brakes very late, but makes the apex.
Yeah, really good on the brakes. And he will definitely have a shot at Two-Spell on the next lap. No DRS on this little straight, as it is based on if you got DRS on the start-finish straight, but he will get DRS for the short straight coming out of the S's.
Yeah, hitting real Johnny battling out for that final one's playing position. Jammy being very aggressive right now, but Charlie is not too far off pace-wise. Charlie's only a few tenths off.
And he's pulling away massively from Two-Spell. Of course, it is the difference in tire, but still, 4 seconds in only 2 laps is really, really good.
But we'll see.
entered.
It will swing back in the way of those guys on the mediums when they pit. I'm guessing they will go for another set of softs. A set of softs. If they go for another set of mediums, then the guys who've done a soft right now are laughing.
Jamie James needs to go on mediums as Blaze now makes a move for P3 and he gets the job done already. So that's Blaze now up into P3. 2-spell drops down to P4. I don't know about Charlie. But yeah, Jamie James, he needs to pit for another set of mediums. So he will be on the same tires as Blaze and 2-spell. The only thing is, they will be much quicker than the mediums of Blaze and 2-spell.
Yeah.
And look at Max, by the way. We're completely missing
what
he is doing, but on the softs as well, up into P5, he will definitely be closing in on 2-spell, and he is clear of penalties.
Yeah, those softs are massive, so they're going to fall away. But now that the cars are a little bit lighter, and obviously they haven't done 3 laps of qualifying, it's going to give these guys a bit more time to make the most of the pace advantage. They're still pulling away. You know, Charlie, for example, 4.4 seconds clear of Blades right now. I mean, surely these guys that have gone on mediums are thinking that they're going to go on to softs for the last part of the race, surely, and that they'll try and make up for lost ground. But has the damage already been done? Because I suppose the only issue Jamie's got with this, I mean, if it's a safety car now, he'd be alright, because other people would have to get another set of mediums. It's not, you know, it's just not quite there. But if it's in the next 10 laps, a safety car, then he's kind of screwed, because then it resets everyone, and he'd be on the mediums tyre, and everyone else will be on the soft tyre. Yeah. That's the only risk playing this strategy, is he's got to hope that he doesn't get screwed over, which obviously can happen. So, and that's just the way of racing. You can't worry about safety cars. You just got to do what you think is the best strategy. But yeah, Jamie is now 5.5 clear of Charlie, so he is able to pull away, edge away ever so more. But equally, Charlie's pulled away massively now, 5 seconds ahead of Blades, and that gap is still pulling. There's no soft runners absolutely chomping at it. I'm expecting those soft guys to be pitting. Oh, got yellow in sector 1. That is Stumpy. I'm expecting those soft guys to be pitting maybe, well, pretty soon. They want to get the medium tyre on. I would have thought they'll be probably pitting the next 4 laps. So maybe lap 25 they'll be looking to pit.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Bamo is starting to catch Max now, so maybe the pace difference between the soft and medium is starting to equal out now.
Sivamu is putting the pressure on Max, as those mediums are now sort of equal compared to those 6-lap-old softs. As we got the lovely helicopter view through the S section, you absolutely love to see it. Ooh, Ferrari with a little bit of a loose rear end there. He kept it on track, and he will be definitely looking to get past that McLaren on the start finish, where he closes in on their braking. You can clearly see that Max is struggling on those softs. We've got yellow through sector 3.
I don't know what that was.
Real Johnny lost the position. I don't know if the yellow was for him. But here comes the Ferrari with the DRS wide open on the start finish straight. Is he gonna get the job done? He moves down the inside, brakes late, and he gets the job done. Max was having a look around the outside, but he couldn't keep it. That means that Vamu is now up into P5, as he will get DRS for the second straight as well. Real Johnny retires in the pits.
Yeah, so now the gap, I was saying it was equaling. Charlie's pulled away, he's 5.7. It looked like it was starting to even out, but again, those softs are still pulling away from the medium runners. It's going to be really interesting, the last phase, how much more can those guys make that time back up again or not?
That's a really good question. I don't think they can. That's
No.
what I said. I don't
Also, the
think.
other problem is the soft runners will pit earlier, so they're going to go on mediums and be pulling away even further. So by the time the guys on mediums do stop to put softs on, the gap's going to be even bigger.
Yeah. And I don't think, like, they will have like a massive advantage for like the first couple of laps, but I think after like 5 or 6 laps, the difference is not gonna be that massive anymore. It's only the fact, are Blaze and Two-Spell and Vamu able? Oh, as here comes Max down the inside. Oh, but Vamu also around the outside. They make a little bit of contact. They're still side by side, but Vamu comes out on top. And now Max loses a position to Mazza. No, he doesn't. As Mazza got a little bit iffy on exit. What I wanted to say is, are those people who are now on 10 plus laps on those mediums able to make it till the end, or are they gonna pit for a fresh set of softs? Because if they pit for a fresh set of softs, are they able to close in enough on Jimmy James, who will be on mediums? That's going to be a very interesting question as well.
Yeah, very interesting. Lap 23 of 36, so we are soon going to be lap 24. So this time by, we will have 13 laps. Let's go, and Jammy is pitting. So he's actually pitting a little bit earlier than I thought. Charlie is going to stay out for another lap, which I kind of don't get. So you might as well go on the medium, because the medium will easily do this last stint, unless you still think you have the pace. So Jammy puts on those mediums, as expected. He's got another 12. He's got 12 laps on those mediums.
Let's see, is Max gonna go for the move? No, he's not. I think he is going to wait for the second straight. But he misses the apex for turn 3. That's definitely not gonna give him an opportunity to make a move. Sygate and Blade, they will definitely be going to the end. Jamie James rejoined just in front of them. So let's keep an eye out on the gap between Blaze and Jamie James, as Charlie has to make a pit stop. It will be very interesting to see if Two-Spell, Blaze and Vamu will have to do the same.
I think they will, because even if they stay out, Jammy is only incredibly, he's only 5 seconds behind Two-Spell after that stint he did. It's a short pit lane, but
it
like,
is, yeah.
even with the those fresh mediums, will be more than enough of a difference. Charlie still stays out. Did Charlie start on mediums?
You can check it with Tess.
Right, okay, let's have a look. Because if so, it's the only reason why I think he's staying out. Because if so, he would be doing another set of softs. So let's have a look. We're going into the dashboard. Charlie, yeah, that's fully. Charlie started on mediums. Charlie's got another set of softs. He started P14 on the grid. So that is why he's going further, because he's going to put another set of softs on.
Yep, that is going to be massive for his race. Now suddenly, I'm thinking that he has a really good chance of taking victory here in this race.
Yeah. That safety car worked a treat for him, because he got good track position for the safety car, then took advantage of all the mayhem and allowed him to just do his stint, and now he's probably got another, I reckon this lap the icon may come through on his dashboard. No, maybe, I mean, it's either this lap or the next lap he'll be pitting, because he's got 11 to go now, so you probably want to do another lap or two. And if we compare the leaderboard, Jamie James is taking chunks out of his lead, so he's going to be. I think it's still going to be a struggle for him to catch Jamie.
Yeah, I don't think Charlie has that much pace to close in the gap on Jamie, because he is effectively pulling away even more now compared to Charlie on those fresh mediums.
Yeah. But he's still keeping it same pace. Amazingly, he's still doing the same pace as what Blade's doing on the mediums.
That's
And
massive.
Two-Spell. They're not catching him up. It's still level neck after 12 laps being on those softs. I mean, he's massively off his best pace. He's 1.2 seconds off. But it's still enough to be quicker than the medium runners. And he's going to absolutely fly next time by. He stays out again, so I'm guessing he'll pit next lap then. As Jammy's now got past Ammo. But interestingly, he's got past Ammo before the DRS zone. But to be honest, Ammo's struggling to get traction. He won't even get near him. But it means Jammy doesn't get DRS. I say that, look at this, Ammo is absolutely flying. He's going to force the Haas to defend. And he's going to go around the outside! And he's done it! And he's going to get DRS, and that's the problem. This could be crucial.
Ooh, but much better exit for the Haas, but yeah, the DRS now.
Yeah. He should have waited for the DRS to just shoot by because it's a double DRS zone. And now he's going to have to try and make the move straight away. And that is going to give people like Charlie a bit of breathing space. Charlie's actually able to pull away that time round. The gap's 13 seconds between Charlie and Jammy. And I think the lap is about a 20-second pit stop. Damo's all over the place around this section. He will get DRS. Damo's defending, but surely... Oh, this is dodgy. Oh, the Ferrari's still there, and Charlie pits. But again, he's made the move, and Vamo is going to get DRS again. And all this battling is going to help Charlie massively. Vamo's using up all his DRS. Where's Charlie? Charlie is not on the pits yet. And Jammy's using up all his ERS as well. He knows he has to keep ahead of the Ferrari, but the Ferrari's going to dive it down the inside. And he'll have DRS again this time by. But I think Jammy's just going to use it all. Yeah, he should be able to stay ahead unless he have a dive bomb. Yeah, he's got it finally. That's cost him a couple of laps of progression. And Charlie then is only 6 seconds behind Jammy James. A brand new set of softs. And we've got more than 6 laps to go, so it still could be on.
Still could be on, this is insane.
Yeah, and he's got clear traffic as well, Charlie. Crucially, he's got clear air just to set lap times. And maybe these guys on the mediums are one stopping. Because they would be pitting. They would have pitted by now. Blade stays out, so yeah, Jammy's going to have to do this all on track. And Charlie's going to have to do this on track.
Charlie will be very quick, but Vamu goes into the pit, so he's not going to gamble it on those mediums. He
has obviously too much wear. Wear must be too high for him. His tyre was a lap older than Blade's and 2 laps older than Two Spells. So yeah, he's just going to go onto the soft now. But yeah, this is going to be interesting. And also, Two Spell is underfueled still. Crucially, Two Spell is underfueled, so he will run out of fuel unless it's a safety car. Now, a safety car would be very beneficial for the guys in the top 2 places. And to be fair, even at that point, Jammy as well be able to go onto another set of softs. He did save them. Let's see, Charlie has already taken 2 seconds out of Blades in 1 lap. So if he keeps up at that rate, he'll catch up Blades. Blades will only lose time as well. But he is gap between Jammy and Charlie, 5.3 seconds. With 7 to go. In fact, it's 7 to go this time by. We got a race.
But I think Jamie James is gonna take it.
It depends on how.
he
So how
makes the
hard it's
same
going to be.
mistake like he did on the other Ferrari, where he's gonna overtake before the second DRS straight, because that allows two spell to like come back at him. He needs
Yeah,
to wait. He needs to wait.
yeah, he's going to have the grip, but yeah, it's catching's one thing, overtaking's another.
We saw it with Fernando Alonso and Hamilton around Hungary. He
Yeah,
needed to protect his, what was it, like P4 or something, for
yeah,
his teammate Ocon in P1, and because of all that battling, it actually helped Ocon to take the victory. Of course, it was Hungary, where it's very hard to overtake in general.
think of Perez.
Yeah,
Perez with Hamilton for one lap. He took like 7 seconds, maybe 7 seconds slower. Like he parked it on the apex. And this
yeah,
time he's smart. He does not make the move on the Ferrari. If I was a Ferrari, I'd just be like, yeah, you go through, mate.
go for it.
Yeah, I'll let you have the lead, and then I'll get you on DRS. Yeah, I think Jamie's not going to have an issue here. Charlie did take a second out of Jamie then, but he will have DRS now, and Jamie is into P2.
So 2.2 now. You can see Blaze in front. Oh, look at this battle, by the way. We've got Mazza, Saigate and Electric Blade very close. Saigate has to give up the position on 17 lap old hearts to Mazza, who now gets himself up into P6.
Yeah, that hard strategy has not worked. There's no pace to even challenge. Oh, we got a yellow, and that is Stumpy in the middle of the track. Oh, God. Hopefully he doesn't ghost. Well, ghost will be activated with the lap car, so. Oh, yellow's at 3, that's still Stumpy. Yeah, Charlie now, 2.4 seconds. Now, that shows you how crucial it was for Jamie James to get past on that lap. Because Charlie's took 2 seconds out of 2 spell on this lap alone. So next time by, he's going to overtake 2 spell. Jamie is just outside the DRS zone.
Here comes Mazza.
Ah, here's one thing we haven't considered. Charlie's still got no penalties at the moment. Completely forgot about that. If he can get within 3 seconds of Jamie...
Here comes
then,
Mazza, by the way. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
And he gets the job done before the braking zone. That's Mazza up into P5. Now it's time to focus on the battle for the lead. We've got yellow.
Yeah, it's Stumpy.
Okay.
Stumpy's doing a tour, I think.
A little bit of
Some sort.
sightseeing.
Yeah. Look at this, Charlie already behind 2 spell. And he's all having a look. Desperate to try and make a move on him. Lost a bit of ground there to the Ferrari. Don't know if he had a moment. But I think that Ferrari's lost all pace.
Here comes Jamie James. Blaze knows that he is not gonna keep the lead for another 4 laps, including this one.
Two-Spell's got loads of energy left, and he's deploying it all. Charlie, though, is going to use his, and he's going to get... In fact, the Ferrari's backing out massively, because he knows he has to save fuel if he wants to finish this race.
Yeah, he's
So
got an
Jamie's took the
8-second gap
Yeah.
back to Mazza, so that should be good. Charlie is on the hunt now.
Yeah. Charlie, 6 seconds. He lost quite a bit of time being behind Two-Spell, and I think that might have cost him, because Two-Spell's backed way out. It's going to be close. I mean, he's taken, the gap's coming down, but yeah, I don't. He's got 2.9 seconds to try and make up.
And those salts are not gonna feel any better. As the laps slowly starting to fade away. 5.9, 5.8. Charlie is gonna get P2.
Sector, I mean, this final sector he took 3/10 out. It's 5.6.
.8, 5.7, 5.6.
Yeah, it's just not enough. I think Jammy's got a lot of... Yeah, it's very strong pace today, Jammy. Just making up for the difference in colour compounds.
Yeah. Yes, I think we slowly turning into a little bit of an anticlimax, where there was a little bit of hope that Charlie could pull off a miracle.
Well, put it this way, now the gap's starting, to be honest, if anything, it's equaled out already, that time's now. Charlie's, previous best is 8/10 quicker than what his lap was just then, so the soft is already losing its advantage. I mean, if Jamie got another penalty, it would make it interesting.
Yeah, but I think he knows, because he can see the gap to Charlie.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna see anything special, but they gave us a really interesting race. For once, a really strategic race from the tier 3 guys, when normally it's purely based on safety cars. As Saigate is trying to go for a move around the outside, and he gets the job done. Saigate now up into P6. This battle is definitely gonna go all the way to the last lap between Saigate and Electric Blade, and maybe Max on those 8 lap old softs can profit from it as well, with Famu in P9 being really close as well together with Hilly. So it's 5 guys fighting for P6 in this race. Who's gonna come out on top? We've got Famu really close to the back of that McLaren, as Jamie James entered lap 36 or 36 last lap. Only a few more kilometers to go.
Yeah, it's all kicking off there. Max and the Ferrari of Ammo absolutely nose to tail here. Oh, they almost touched going out the final corner. Traction key around that final corner, and you can see Vamu has the best grip.
And I think Electric Blade is gonna come out worst, because they're both gonna slipstream. Oh, this is going to be really close. Max brakes very late. Vamu now on the outside.
Oh,
and he puts his nose in.
Also, we have to be aware of Two Spell. He's running out of fuel. He's having to lift and coast, and Muzza is going to get a P4 here. Jack Hawkey's retired in the pits, but is Two Spell going to run out of fuel before the end of this lap?
He can lift and coast a little bit through the S section.
Oh, Max and the Ferrari, they've collided, and Max has spun it.
We have to focus on Jamie James. He is coming out of the last corner to take victory here in Mexico.
Two Spells run out of fuel.
Yeah,
Two Spells run out of fuel.
Electric Blade and Saigate side by side through the stadium section. What a last lap we're having here on screen. Are they gonna come out ahead of Two Spell as well? I think they are.
I don't know, it's gonna be super close. He's gonna get there just.
Oh.
Literally just. He has got a 5-second penalty, but I'm sure that will get removed. That was from all that chaos on the safety car.
What an insane end to this race. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant victory from Jimmy James as we are getting the final standings up on screen right now. Jimmy James P1, Charlie P2 without any penalties, fair play. Blaze P3, he said he was gonna pick up a podium and he delivered. P3 for him. Mazda P4, really well done. Vamu P5, Tuspel P6, Electric Blade P7, Haley P8, Max P9, Saige takes the final point. Um, Jack P11, Stampy P12, Real Johnny P13, Hasmania P14, Marina P15, Bama P16, Redcliffe P17, Pure Blaze P18, and Kitten P19. Gonna get the drivers in the commentary box. So Charlie, Blaze, and Jimmy James. Let's get the Haas up on screen. So we are waiting for the drivers to join the commentary box. At least we have Blaze. We will just start off with Blaze, and if people join, people join. If not, that will be it. Blaze, first of all, congratulations on taking P3 in this race. I asked you the question, are you gonna pick up a podium? You said yes, and you delivered. Um, really well done. How hard was it to negotiate those mediums towards the end? Was it a struggle or was it quite easy?
It was quite easy. I was wanting to pit, but then after the massive gap after the safety car, whatever happened there was just too big of a gap to pit, so I just didn't and risked it to stay down because I didn't want to take the 5 second penalties. But the tyre wear wasn't too bad. I was like 75 at the end of the race, but I didn't really feel a massive pace drop. I just think it was the much fresher tyres that allowed them to overtake me.
Yeah, fair enough. Um, yeah, you seem quite confident before the race. Did you practice a lot, or is it just this track, or are you just like really strong around this track?
It's both. I practiced probably about an hour more than normal would, and I'm just really good at this track. In qualifying, somehow I got my PB. I was doing mid 15s, and then I get into the 14s for the first time, so that was very fun. And then Bama beat me by half a second, so or what, 3 times or whatever. But yeah,
Fair,
it was fun.
fair enough. So there's a voice crack if you like it. Oh my days. What I wanted to say is, fair enough. You drove a really strong race, mate. Go enjoy the P3, fully deserved.
Thanks. Thanks. It was not too bad actually.
Going on to P1, Jimmy James. First of all, congratulations, brilliant race. I doubted, I'm not gonna lie, I doubted your strategy when you pitted for softs during the safety car, but you showed some impressive pace. Were you quite confident about the strategy, or when running on those softs, were you doubting yourself on whether it was the right call? Yeah, it did. Yeah, because I don't know. Was it? I think it was Blaze. I think it was you who pitted one lap before the actual safety car came out. So yeah, you and Jack
Yeah.
were one of the only ones together with Charlie who haven't pitted under the safety car. So yeah, it was at the end a good call and it paid out very well. So congratulations on taking the victory in this race.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much.
And now Charlie has joined, we can get the P2 to interview as well. Charlie, first of all, congratulations, really well done with the P2. How unfortunate or how yeah disappointed are you that you couldn't fight for that P1, or are you happy already with the P2 at the end?
I'm quite happy with the with the P2. I must admit, I mean, what a mess. Honestly, after that safety car, it was mad. It really worked out in my favour, but I'm pretty happy with the P2. Jamie was a bit quick, but I knew that I just had to keep a clean race. Everyone got penalties. I had no penalties the entire race, and yeah, that's all I had to do was just keep a clean sheet the whole race because everyone had at least 5 seconds or 3 seconds, and unless you're Crazy Magician, had 13 seconds. Um, it was a pretty good race. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. How hard was it to keep it within the white lines? Because we know around this track there are so many corners where you can pick up a penalty that easily. Because I don't know on how many warnings you were, but yeah, it seemed quite confident from our POV.
Uh, yeah, I mean, the first three corners, it was just I could cut the second corner a little bit, and then the other two, turn one and turn three, were just you had to keep that tidy. And then sector two, I just practiced that all day yesterday. Just I went through it, I done a flashback, went through it again, flashback through it again,
Yeah,
and that is literally all I did for about an hour. So
fair enough.
um, I was like, I need to nail this because that's where I was going to get penalties from. So yeah, it paid off. So
It definitely paid off, mate. P2 at the end, very well done. Really good result. Go enjoy it.
thank you.
And that rounds off the stream for tonight. Once again, congratulations on everyone who finished on the podium. And thank you, Lewis, for joining me in the commentary box. It was a pleasure as always.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Great. Yeah, great. That safety car really shook the midfield and those front places. Obviously, apart from Jamie, because Jamie drove very well. So congratulations. But yeah, that was a very fun race to commentate on, and wow, that's the Christmas break now coming up. So hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, and look forward to seeing you again New Year. Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah,
yeah,
100%.
definitely.
But before we go and enter the Christmas break, we've got the rest of the tiers following up as well. So if you don't want to miss anything from Condors of Speed, make sure you follow us on Twitch and follow us on social media. From up here, I want to wish Danielle a speedy recovery as well. If you want to know what is going on with her head of social media, go check out the tweet on Twitter. But yeah, she has been a really big factor for our social media team. We really miss her. So yeah, we wish her all the best. And yeah, what Lewis said as well, for everyone who tuned in and everything from Condors of Speed, the F1 community, and all over the world, we wish everyone a Merry Christmas and hopefully a very good 2022. This was it for today's stream. As I always say, have a good one, stay safe, and goodbye.